Yo, Kyle, can you do the stream? Live. Yeah, the mic's there. Can you use it now?
Hit the weight room.
You want to take a few right now? Go post the wall. Like Ayers of the ball, I was just like right off the logo.
Yeah, Vinny, get that little run off the field. Vinny, security, get him off.
Please tell me that.
Balboni. It says Balboni. He's like smoking on that crypto. You know Johnny Ramsey? All right, fellas. You got Bose as the ump? I post that? We got that story posted? All right, we're about to get set up here. A's versus Mets, last game of the night. Harshaw on the bump. Player of the week last week, hitter and pitcher of the week.
Oh my.
Just walk in front of the camera, I guess. 2-0 count to Dennis. 3-0. 3-0 count to Dunnigan. Dennis, I'm sure, has a green light on the Mets. Lets that one go. 4-0. Saw Dylan warming up. He looked pretty comfortable, so might just be trying to pitch away to Dennis here. 5-ball walk. Ball high. Dill also using his warning. A little wild to start this game. There he goes. Settles down with a strike there. Matt Barry Bonds Milikivi up. Got the nickname Barry Bonds last year after a hit. I think he was batting 300 for most of the year. Ball wasn't even close. 2-1 count. Watches that ball. 3-1 hitters count here for Matt Mill. Could be wrong, but I think he is still chasing that first hit of 2025. Watches that one. 4-1 count. Big hitters count for Milikivi. Dill just misses there, a little outside. First and second. Mets are threatening early.
Dill frustrated with himself on the mound here.
I don't know if I should put base runners on or what.
There you go.
On the stream. Where's the score button?
I have to like flip it like that.
Do it in between that after.
What'd you say? I have no clue. I don't know. I didn't even look at that bracket at all. I think like Dylan walked up. Usually I'm all into that bracket, and then I think Dill just looked it up and told me who we're playing. Polanco puts a ball in play. Chris makes a good play. Double play.
Come on, baby.
What about second base?
I didn't see Chris tag Dennis here.
Wow, Chris Sterning. Unreal play.
It looks safe from my angle, but if he hit his jersey, I guess we'll find out later. The jersey counts.
There's some arguing going on here. But that is a huge double play there. Dylan was struggling. And big double play.
Yeah, I guess we'll review that one when the game's over. Good strike on phone here. Milikivi on second. Dylan maybe finding his groove, that momentum shift with a double play. All right. Feeling a little trigger happy. It's tough to lay off the drops that come down in the space of where you can hit it, but aren't going to hit the zone.
Drop in the dirt, riser ups, or veteran pitches.
All right, riser wide. Good idea.
A lot of times you can get those rookies to chase on those two pitches. Put on a vet, though. But Dylan with a nice pitch. Matt Mill on second. 2 outs.
Seemed fast. 71 for the pitch for Dylan there. A little quick. Starting to build a good idea for what looks like a good pitch and what looks like a little too quick.
Oh.
And Happy holds the putter.
Cone chases that one, and the A's escape the jam. Still a 0-0 game as we head to the bottom of the first. This is where I gotta flip the stream, and it looks all funny. So there we go. Bottom one. Okay, that's all I gotta do because.
Where's the score bug at?
Oh, Dylan never put that on there.
There you go. Fantastic.
Oh my gosh, that is a big mess up.
He was doing something different. He wasn't holding it like that. I don't know if he was popping it out and moving it, but he was just rotating it. It might, I don't know what he's.
It stinks when you're like watching because like it.
Yeah, it's annoying.
I know.
When I was going through it and like clipping, it was a little bit. It was annoying to see it.
You're gonna throw up watching our stream. And motion sickness.
You know what I don't like? Well, we're gonna have an iPad soon, so we'll be able to see chat throughout game.
Yeah, I know.
Which will be nice, but
that is the downside to switching studio.
not being able to see chat.
You know, I can pull it up on my phone and watch from here.
Yeah, just keep volume down. I was saying to Dill, like, none of these buttons do. You know, you can't edit it from here. So I was touching it, and I guess you can.
It was a terrible top of the first.
Well, the double play helped.
Yeah, that helped insanely.
I'm excited to watch that back because I didn't think he'd tug him, but I trust him. Yeah.
I could not see from
Chris seemed adamant about it. I mean, he was right there.
He was right there, yeah. And it's not like Dennis ducked or anything.
No, but you know, Dennis was saying he didn't get him.
No
Chris
way
was saying he
anybody
did.
from this angle would see it.
You wouldn't see it from this, but you would get an, you know, at least be able to slow it down. All right. Well, now I kind of feel it. Now there's something else at the bottom. Oh, swipe to dismiss.
Big thing with Polanco here. Polanco threw yesterday in Mall. He's kind of a guy too that when he's tired, you can definitely see a velo shift, a velo drop, I should say. I know with the speed limit this year, I'm sure he's not going to have trouble hitting 70, but it could be something to worry about here for the Mets. Polanco's arm's hurting him because going through that first game, they're going to need Polanco here tonight.
Don't take slow. Change up wide from Polanco. It's a quick change up.
Little finger ball action. Did he have that in his bag last year? That finger ball
Not
change
that I
up?
remember facing him.
I mean, he may have had something.
But this is the whole thing about the new format. You have to really be creative as a pitcher. You cannot just throw strikes. Even if you have 4 pitches, you can't throw strikes. You have to be, intentional with inside slider that moves out, inside screwball that comes in. Polanco really doing a good job with an outside finger change there. Gets Dylan. We have 1 out.
Dylan does not start this game off like he started opening night with a bomb to center. That was such an electric start to the year. Had everyone down at the lake. Still went deep.
Loud like Dylan was doing for everybody else? Dylan a little lost in the box. Let's hope Chris does a little bit better.
Chris Durning takes Polanco deep on a drop.
Let's go!
Wow. Chris Durning starting the year off hot. Shows up to the field at 6 o'clock for a 6 o'clock game. Right on time to hit that bomb.
Surprised it didn't go further, but we'll take the run on the board.
You got to change the score, Tommy. 1-0 and 1 out, I guess.
Chris, is that your first time running?
1 out. Get one for me in the playing game.
All right, Colin. I failed miserably
Josh
there.
Butler Jams him a little bit, flies out the short.
I just kind of messed it up. So
It's so hard because the game moves so fast.
yeah, especially in this, like you too. You fucking pitched
I know.
three
With
seconds after
with
last.
the batters too. Like I don't know, it's just it moves so quick, dude. Opening day, I was trying to set stuff up and like fill the book out,
Yeah,
and it was just like by the time like I wrote something in the book, the next guy was up, and I couldn't even like talk.
I felt bad because you were in a groove and I wasn't like slowing down to slow you down. I was slowing down to like slow myself down.
Mhm.
So I would like step out of the box and just take a second and be like, hold on. I just swung at 4 pitches in a row. I need to relax for a second, take a breath. We will update the scoreboard and the outs. Better as we go along. Wayne Shambo with a 3-0 count. Blanco. See if he can dig himself out here. Okay, that's one that looked quick, but it was across all right.
Dylan the cap gives Wayne the green light. Wayne is green. Green hat, green jersey,
Well,
green undershirt.
it's a good looking pitch. Can't hate swinging at it. A lot of times that riser comes back depending on if you're throwing it straight or a little bit sidearm. Finger change misses high and outside. Have a new spectator in left field. Shout out to our spectator. Wayne works a walk. Good at bat from Wayne, and here comes Dylan, anxious to do a little bit better than his last at bat, which was not pretty.
Ball a little high up there on Dylan. Big walk there from Wayne. Passing the baton to Dill. Top hitter for the A's this year so far.
All right. Hits
Ball.
off leg, but
Or the radar. I don't know.
I think it was blue leg.
Ball
Good
just
pitch.
didn't rise up either.
No, the wind has died down since before, but Dylan fouls off a screwball. In the earlier games, the wind was messing with not just the pitches coming in, but any ball that was in play was moving everywhere. So a little bit more calm conditions here. Blanco hits Dylan in the back. Two to the count. Worm burner from Polanco, 3-2. Yeah, I tried turning. Spilled my beer and everything else.
How about
Dylan
Dylan
with a little bit of the
goes
barrel. Reason to be excited for Dylan. That's 2 runs for the A's here. Beautiful barrel. And a great recovery from the terrible first at bat from Dylan. That is a 2-run shot. The score is 3-0.
It is 3. And it's still 0-0.
Give me. I'll just change it. What did you change?
I didn't know. Yeah, this came up and I didn't touch anything. I didn't touch anything because this is all that came up.
Wait, it's right here.
Oh my god, take a picture of pound.
Good, yep. Technical difficulties worked out here as Chris
Got him.
gets beat out at first base from a ground ball to the left side of the infield. We're going to switch halves of the inning here. A's do some damage. We have 3 on the board. See what the Mets can reply with. Dylan Harshaw, beautiful barreled up ball left field over the fence. Chris Sterning, as he does, making contact to the left side, gets beat out by a well-fielded ball from Dennis Dunnigan. Brendan Bowes, our first base right side umpire. Left side umpire is anybody that is willing to give an opinion. The new format has been interesting. A fair share of pitch speed violations. Colin had a few violations early in the day, 76, 70s, 74. Pretty egregious, pretty bad. And, I've kind of been alluding to it. And, I'm wrong every now and then, as we all are. But sometimes you can get a little bit better with the eye test. And especially when emotions get high and, people are on base, it's tough. It's tough to know what's going on, and it's tough to mitigate it as a pitcher yourself, what the speed is, which you can play into, or sometimes not always the case. We are correct. This is top two. Top two. Got to change that. Dennis grounds the ball up the middle. Looks like good. Chris Durning with a great fielding play. Safe at first for Dennis Dunnigan. Top two with a runner on first. Milkeev swings right through that one.
Hear Dennis a little bit fired up. METS 0-2 to start the year. See a little frustration building up. Dennis is one of the team co-captain almost with Polanco. Really trying to fire their squad up.
Just about. Quick 0-2 start for Milkeev.
Dennis is like the voice of the Mets.
You think of Dennis, you think of the Mets. You think of the Mets, you think of Dennis. Integral in their success. He's important for the team. Looked a little quick down in the dirt. 72 from Dylan. That's a warning for the pitch.
Saved my career, and I
Fouled
went
up
0-2
to the top of the net here.
I don't know what you're laughing at.
Milkeev barrels that ball up left center field. Walk it off. Go ahead and toss the bat. Matt Milkeev.
What a pimp.
2-run bomb off of Dylan Harshaw. Absolutely barreled up to left center. Everybody's fired up. Absolutely, Dennis is in. This is some fierce talk right now. Kid is back, says Matt Milkeev. We have a 3-2 game. Hear it. East Lake Park. Or something. I don't know. It might not be East Lake Park. Blanco excited. Going off the energy. Swings at that. Quality swing. That's a strike. No longer runner on first. Let me edit that. This way.
Low lineup
Runners,
switch for the
take that
Mets.
up.
Blanco usually their 4-batter, but I guess with the home run on opening day and the home run yesterday in the mall tournament off Styles, Blanco's kind of feeling himself. Has a ball in play today. It was a double play, but just kind of hit it in the wrong spot. Good contact. Blanco holds up there. Dylan almost gets him the chase. Doesn't matter, bro. I play for money now. We go to mall. Dylan gets Polanco to strike you out there. 1 out here in the top of the second. A's still up 3-2. This is where I gotta think it's a huge at bat. Phone chases that one outside. Ooh, 72. Guess they'll use his warning because that is a auto ball. Going with a good cut there, maybe a hair late.
1-2.
Cohen watches that screwball tail outside. This is a big game for the Mets. You really do not want to go down 0-3 to start the year, especially with our rules this year. 3 teams are missing playoffs. So, I mean, to have a slow start can really hurt you Home with a nice little piece there to fight it off. Pretty nice day earlier with the sun coming out, but as the shade comes over the field, wind picking up a little bit, getting a little chilly up here. Sean Bigner out.
I'm out of here. Bye, stream.
1 out.
Who's watching? Do we have any? Let me know. Do I have to look it up somewhere?
I'll look it up on my phone. We got 3 viewers.
Nice.
Pone holds there. Good at bat from Pone. What an AB. Really solid start from both 4 hitters from both teams. So we got a runner on first. Dylan starts off with a strike here in this at bat.
Dennis swings through an outside riser. Looks good. Always does. We have new spectators in center field. Another outside low riser gets Dennis.
Quick.
2 out. Up and in. Matt Milliken. And here comes Sean chirping. Here's our first base umpire. Sean should be on third, but he's going to hang out. Milliken grounds the ball left side. Chris Erning, rare bobble, beats it at first base. Safe as Milliken. We have runners on first and second for the Mets captain, John Polanco. Coming on up, 2 outs.
Very underrated speed in this game. Matt Millikivi may be the fastest player in the league. Doesn't get talked about a whole bunch.
Should do 40
He has
times.
some wheels.
We should do 40
first and
times.
second too.
Sorry for our viewers as we keep doing that. We are soon transitioning to an iPad where we do not have to rotate the phone, but right now we're using a phone for switcher. Dylan Harshaw, beautifully painted outside pitch to get 2 strikes on Polanco. 1-2 count. Same idea, a little bit of a sword. Dylan Harshaw, great strikeout, huge spot. Gets the A's out of the inning with no further damage from the Mets. Mets threatening a little bit, but the A's get out of it.
Yeah.
It took so long to get to me.
Yeah,
And
no,
if
that's
I'm
what I mean.
closer up, it's not going to get by me. I'm playing.
You can hear the A's strategize here behind the scenes a little bit. Blanco throwing gas at the board. Sean chirping Polanco on the mound. Trade talks. Just not pertinent.
Dennis gets traded in the middle of the game.
Yeah,
Imagine that.
yeah. Here comes the
Please
helicopter
travel.
to lift Dennis. We have a good amount of Durning family. Harshaw Durning family. It's all the same. Getting chilly here in the shade. The sun is setting out in left field. All shade now as the trees cover us here on the right side of the field, first baseline. Josh Butler up to bat, takes a first pitch ball from Polanco. 1-0 the count. See you, buddy. You too?
Bye, stream. I'll be in the chat in a minute talking shit.
Yep, Sean will be here to keep you all company as Josh Butler takes an outside low riser from Polanco. 2-0. Josh choking up a good bit on the bat, about 2 inches. All right, lines it down the third base side. We're going to take a hit here. Josh. Oh, I think.
Who's umpire? Oh, but he was straight away. I got Vinny at C. He told Colin.
I would, if I had input here, I would say about a half step out. I would say half step out.
He's out.
Oh, for real.
We're going to update that. Josh, great contact. Great contact.
We need to run in sprint.
Josh going to work on his sprint time. We have 1 out here.
So now I'm on fire.
Ground ball from Josh Butler to the third base side, almost right down the line. Most of the times that's a hit. Gets beat out. He is out at first base.
I was not watching.
I was looking at the phone, not the play, but I do believe he was a half step out there. We'll see how that goes. Yonko, beautiful screwball just outside of Wayne Shambo's barrel. Sits Wayne down. We have 2 outs. Dylan Harshaw comes up. See what he can do for the A's. A little quick there. Outside riser misses.
And it was close with Josh, but literally nobody made a call.
It was at like I think Josh is a half step out. We'll see, but
I'm guessing you were out.
it was pretty close. But I think about a half step. Josh, known as one of the fastest people in the RPWL, top 5 without question. Joke, of course, as Dylan fights that off to the right side. Matt Milikiv able to get under it, handle it with ease. That kind of hung up in the air. Unfortunate for Dylan Harshaw there, but the Mets get out of that inning no problem. A little bit of controversy on the bases, but no issues. Not the base itself, no.
Yeah, Wayne struck out, right?
Wayne says yes.
The one time I asked Frankie at mall, and Frankie's like, "What do you think? You sit on the bench, you didn't hear me get loud, you didn't hear anything. What do you think?"
Sometimes you get serious answers. Sometimes you get extremely comedic answers from the RPWL crowd. Chris Sterling on the mound. Looking like an Italian restaurant with all these meatballs he's serving, but the Mets are unable to pull a lead through.
I didn't see it. No, Sean, you were supposed to be on fire. I always told you to be on fire when you went to the game.
Sean, one of the co-commissioners, always here, always putting in work, always umpiring, just getting joked around with about how he has to leave. Chris Sterling continuing to serve delicious meatballs up. I would be surprised if the Mets didn't put 10 runs up on the board this inning. Getting a little chilly here. As I talk about the sun, you see it retreating further and further up on that hill in left field. A little bit of wind, a little bit of shade. Temperature's about 60 degrees. Feels probably a little bit cooler. Wind has been an obstacle today. Not so much for this game, but definitely in the games prior. A lot going on with pitching and how you can do it. That could be why Chris is missing the zone with every pitch. The wind a little bit.
Yo, what his battery's low.
I'm trying to do Dylan's job of chirping in the middle of a stream. Finally, he hits a zone. Let's see if the Mets take advantage of that. What? Chris looks good. Chris looks controlled.
That should be charging now. Okay,
I don't-
low battery went away.
Oh, yeah.
Can't have the stream die.
No, that would suck. I didn't know you could charge through the mic thing. That makes sense, but I didn't know you could do that. Just outside and low. Pone takes a ball. Is this bottom 3 or top 3? Top 3. Just making sure. Have it all good. That's a good meatball. Outside riser for a strike here. Slider. Gotta be.
Yeah.
Ridley Park surrounded by trains here as you hear the train behind us. As Pone takes the ball deep to right center field. Take that walk. Take your time around the bases. J. Paul Volpone. Way to barrel that ball up. Here comes the train. Huge at bat there from J. Paul Volpone, tying the game up here in the top of the 3rd. Unbelievable.
Welcome to the game, Chris Durning.
That's a nice welcome to the league moment for Chris Durning, as Colin says. Chris, newcomer to the league. Misses high.
This game got some life to it. This game got some life.
Dennis.
Oh, that's bad. You can't touch your head.
I didn't even see the ball. I just reached where it was. No outs here. Dennis with a good swing on that pitch. Chris looked a little quick.
One.
Just missed the barrel of Dennis's back. Great pitch. Low and away. Slider. This is inside with a drop. Two's in the at-bat. Everybody utilizing cleats here, I think, except for Dylan. Dennis with some pretty cleats here in the box. Chris with some good cleats on the mound. 71, breaking a pitch here. Wayne, cleats in center field. Pone, Polanco, Milikiv, no cleats. So Milikiv and Dylan, no cleats. Only ones. Dennis barrels it up left side. Dylan bobbles it. That's going to be a hit. Dennis going to second base. And he's going to pull in safely at second. Dylan, rare error in the field there. It's hard on this field. This is a tough field to be on.
I like the observation. Single.
We're going to rule that a single with an error as Dylan batted that out of bounds to the left side. Out of bounds. Foul. In foul territory to the left side. Go Sixers. Sixers pulled off a Game 7 win there last night against the Celtics. Milikiv, not really sure he's swinging out there, but it happens. Trains continue to go through behind Ridley Park as we're surrounded by these freight and passenger trains. Could be a sign as it came along. Pone barrels the ball to right center over the fence. Could be a sign for Milikiv here. Nicknamed Barry Bonds. Swings just a bit early, pulled away from a nice pitch from Chris Durning outside of the zone. Just a bit high. 32 the count. Mets rocking the Los Mets jerseys. We do not have a single Hispanic player in the league, but I like the homage that is paid. Chris Durning with a juicy riser. Milikiv. Dennis is tagging. Let's see what's going on. He's tagged out before third base. Ballsy play, but it's always worth the gamble to be aggressive on the base paths. Unfortunately for Dennis, that just was a bad time. Great play. You need a good catch. You need a good throw. It's almost always worth taking the risk. Nobody on the base paths. Now we have 2 outs. Polanco takes. Vinny's doing a lot. I almost had the same thing earlier. He's on Whiff Plus.
Well, it is.
There's like an online live one.
I guess that's.
For everybody's good. Yeah, I think we should have an option. Nice.
3-1. 3-1.
I mentioned the Hispanic derivative of the Los Mets jerseys. Actually, this could be the whitest team in the league here with Dennis, J. Paul, Matt Milikiv, and John Polanco. There's a good chance they're the whitest team. I mean, yeah, there's a level of caucasity that is present throughout the league. However, the Mets got to be at the top. All right, we have a runner on first base. J. Paul Valpone up the bat. Oops. Here we go. So 2 outs. Stretch, a.k.a. John Polanco. First base, J. Paul Valpone takes a ball We're having a lot of technical difficulties today. That radar has just been hit 1,000 times. As RPWL will figure out a way around that in the future, but as of now, big pain in the butt. Some transient spectators out in center field. This is what our league thrives from, people passing by as Chris Sterning does his best to hit the wire again because he likes to be a problem. Can we figure it out up there? I actually agree. I agree. And I'm just not sure what J. Paul saw there, but good pitch. Good pitch there from Chris Sterning over the speed limit 71. That goes auto ball. Is that warning or auto? Auto. As he has already used up his warning. Doesn't much matter. 3-2 count on Pone here. Dots the zone. A little bit of paint. Pone putting some good swings throughout the day, as he does. Takes a ball there off the elbow. Pone, known for leaning over the plate, takes a ball off the elbow there. Just kidding. Oh, bounce it up. That comes back. Fair ball left side. Polanco's going to stop at second base. We're going to have first and second. Great contact from J. Paul Volpone there. Way to pass the baton. Could have been more, but started 10 feet foul. Crazy that it came back. We need that kind of commentary here. Dennis, great eyes. Dylan strategizing from left field. Try to include a little bit more of the field here. Dennis takes a ball low and away. 2-0 count. Tie game here, 2 outs, top third inning. First and second, this is a big opportunity here. Dennis, a known dangerous hitter. Chris dots low and away again. This is the format here. This is the whole difficulty as a pitcher. You really have to find a way to get strikes over that are over where the hitter is thinking. Most guys in this league, most guys that play are athletes. You can see ball, hit ball, but you really have to make sure you're pitching smart. Dennis takes a high drop. Curious to see the approach here. Swings at a low and away slider. Looks good, but probably a ball. We have a full count here. Turning sets. High and in. Walks Dennis. We have bases loaded for Barry Bonds. Strategizing here from the A's. Dylan Harshaw is going to come in. He's going to throw a couple. Dylan Harshaw is as good as Randy Johnson. He comes in, the inning's over. Vinny agrees over here behind home plate. Dylan breaking the sound barrier with the 70-mile-an-hour speed limit. Barry Bonds takes a pitch low. Worm burner over to home plate. Watches an outside third of the plate strike from Dylan. Dylan lefty, a little bit different of a look than Chris. Chris Standing over 6 feet tall, Dylan probably somewhere around 5.5 feet. Matt swings early through that one, 2 strikes. Beautiful swing, great pitch to swing at from Milliken. Low, part of the zone, probably close to dead middle. Gets Milliken out of the jam for the A's. What a pitch from Dylan Harshaw. That's a moment there where we're talking about the speed limit, right? You know, you get so excited, it's hard to keep your adrenaline in check to keep the pitch under 70 miles an hour. Way to get out of that, Dill.
Bro, I threw that first pitch so scared. I wanted to get up and I was aiming it so bad. It was like 63. Was it the outside third? It was like, yeah, 63 straight into the dirt. I'm like, no, I just need to.
Yeah, you can't think too much.
But he only has to go one inning.
A's joining a congregation here talking about Pone's last game, which unfortunately was full of offense. Pone, a good pitcher, notoriously a reliable backup pitcher, but sometimes whether it's mindset from the pitcher or mindset from the offensive team, sometimes the better is received from Pone and sometimes it's given. Against the Astros, not a lot of luck. A few home runs off of Pone and a loss. But hoping to turn a new leaf here against the A's in a tie game. This is bottom 3, correct? Yeah. Brendan Bowe's showing me a video. Pat Farrell might kill himself later today, but
Wait, let me see.
Let me see.
in GTA? Is Pat playing GTA right now? In GTA. Yeah, Pat notorious for being stupid in video games. Pat notorious for ruining his character in video games by killing his character, aka killing himself. But you know, ultimately it's his character. Per Vinny Albanese, thank you, Vinny Albanese. Good to know, actually. That is really good comms. Here we go, Pone. First batter, Chris Durning, dangerous batter to face. Swings at a pitch that hits the leg. The drop hits the leg here. Colin Pollard comes skipping over.
Bad blood in this AB. Little talk on the line.
I don't know if he was yelling at Chris.
Oh, he was yelling at Chris.
With a second strike, a slider riser that hits the bottom, middle third of the zone. Chris Durning, notorious for just getting bat on ball. 0-2 here. Screwball that would have been a strike. Polanco bobbles. Gets to Pone, but it's still safe at first. Safe by 3 steps, but ultimately cool. We have a runner on first base. Not enough time to update it in the meantime for this pitch. Hits the zone, actually. Lower right corner of the zone. We have a runner on first. 0-1 count to Josh. Another good pitch from Pone. Josh swings right through it. Middle. Josh choking up another inch. Puts the middle of the handle on the ball. Josh known for good swings. Fouls this over in the river, we're going to have to do some retrieving. Josh also known for his theatric performance in high school, his good voice, his great dance. Josh recently married with a new ring on that left ring finger. Wearing a Flyers hat. Flyers lost terribly last night. Hopefully that's not a bad omen for the A's. Josh with an interesting stance, quite open, back foot close to the plate, front foot outside of the lines, as you can see. Standing up pretty tall. Takes a ball from Pone. Swings, foul tips, a high pitch. That was a foul tip, absolutely. Dennis Dunnigan questioning Brendan Bowes. There might be a fist fight. Here comes the next pitch from Pone. High screwball again. Pone actually playing into Josh chasing the high pitch. Josh fouls off yet again. A little bit more contact this time. Easy to hear. I'm intrigued to see the next idea from Pone. The painter on the mound. Hits the zone, no problem. Sits Josh Butler down. Hello, how are you? Good night. Wayne Shambo known for being dangerous at the plate. Looks good as he does it. Here comes a high screwball. Wind is whipping right now. This is a bit what it was like earlier. Takes the ball. 10 the count. Wayne Shambo, a lot of tattoos on that right leg. Not sure if there's anything going on the left side. Probably pretty quick, but a low and inside slider riser. Everybody is feeling this wind. You can see it a little bit here. You probably can hear it. I'm feeling it in my eyes from the sand from the mouth. Moon misses low and away with a screw. 3-0 count. Getting chilly over here at the lake. Blown away. One more time with the slider riser. Wayne, good eye. Good control. Ben Mutz with a hawkaloo. Right next to the mic. Brendan Bowes doing whatever he does over at home plate. Brendan Bowes, our first base umpire. Third base umpire is nobody here. Should be Zane. Pone pinning a screwball as a strike, middle part of the zone. Tough take from Wayne. Sure he wants that one back. Let's see what the next pitch brings us. Looks good. Same screwball, lower inside, third of the zone. Great pitch from Pone here. All right, we have 2 strikes. Looks good. Screwball again. Wayne was waiting on it a little bit early on that inside screwball. Fouls it off. Just about fence depth to left field. If Wayne pushed his hands out a little bit more, that could have been pushed to center field. Always about timing. You can pull anything. You can push anything. Wayne again on a screwball. Obviously what he's looking for here. Pone keeps coming with it with these 2 strikes. I'm not sure why. Pone should think about doing something else. Starting high and away and finishing outside. Missing the zone. This should be a waste pitch with intention here. And it was. Credit to both. Wayne for the discipline and Pone for the idea. That was about where most pitchers would think to put it. Pone doesn't like the ball. John Polanco comes on in. Stretch, as he's known. We now have first and second for the A's here.
One out.
Polanco throwing an 80-mile-an-hour pitch that reads at 67 here past Dylan. A little bit outside. Also looking fast. 65 apparently. I'm not buying it. Dylan choked up, fouls that into the zone. Looks good. 65 miles an hour. Polanco with a finger screw that Dylan fouls off. Dylan with 2 strikes here. Polanco with a drop. Dylan with a ball. Dead ball area. No play. Polanco gets up and gets to it. Smart. This year we moved the dead ball line up further away from the home plate as we are in and entering a new format. We figured that might be the best. Dylan watching a slow slider riser inside. Misses the zone. I think it's a few feet back, at least 5 feet back for this dead ball line, which takes out of play some of the bunts and some of the balls that Polanco fielded there. Dylan swinging through a high drop. Astounded. Hole in the barrel for Dylan Harshaw here, or so he thinks. I would think so too. That was a good swing. Chris Durning here. We have 2 outs here. I'm not great at updating the outs. I think we have 2 outs. Chris Durning, rare swing the ball.
We have 2 outs, Colin.
Dennis says yes, 2 outs. Polanco missing just inside. Chris holding off. 1-1. I think. Polanco missing low and away. Chris thinking about it again, but holds off. 21. Polanco with a high screw, never comes down. Chris swings at it. 70 on the dot, says Colin. That did not dive. A lot of the times that screwball will come back down to the zone. Chris anticipating that. Never happened. Stayed up. Low and away screw from John Polanco. Ben Mutt's glazing on the first baseline. Not sure what that's about. Ben, first year in the league, played his games earlier with the Phillies. Polanco missing just inside. Chris with a great eye.
Almost had him.
Full count for Chris Durning, as he does. Always deep in the count. Always smart for the most part. Let's see what Polanco does here. Just misses outside with a finger screwball. Just misses. We have bases loaded here in the bottom of the 3rd for Josh Butler. As previously mentioned, Typically a smart hitter here, Josh. Watches a lot of strikes, but puts good swings on the ball. It's a 0-1 count. Blanco, same approach. 2 balls that hit the board. That's 2 strikes. Josh swinging through 1 screw and 1 riser. Let's see what Polanco plays with here. Doesn't have to be in the zone. Comes with a high screwball. Josh gets around to it. Stays early on it. Pulls it left side foul. Missing the zone the entire time. Again, as we know with this Polanco ball previously mentioned, really not dropping. This screwball is not coming down to dive to the zone. It's staying up. Josh gets around to it and watches a slider, gets out of a jam. These pitchers in this game, unbelievable what these guys are capable of. Getting out of the inning like it's no problem, no pressure for these pitchers. Dylan and Polanco back to back, getting out of bases loaded jams. Unbelievable work here. Moving on. What? Vinny, what is this? What inning? Scorebug's still saying bottom 3, even though we're kind of keeping it fixed. So that's... There we go. Beautiful, beautiful. I could be confident for a second, but always double checking. Randy Johnson back on the mound for the 8th.
Something happened a few years ago.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It's like, look, the first inning, this is like where we need to score. First inning, I was on third. It was a single, but like.
No, I know. I struck out at third.
I got out first and second. Yeah. We were like,
I got to
Yeah.
no, well, I'm off an Allen.
I'm not saying you.
Maybe Blanco, what'd you do?
We're on the roof. We're having it here.
One?
It was like 275 or something stupid.
What I want to do is, you guys have made in person.
Yeah, I had to go back to do that. I didn't even hang out at the beach. Talking about our past lives and the way high school went as Pone strikes out. High school mentioning, you know, I think everybody but maybe 5 players in the league at most went to the same high school as Ridley is.
That guy's pretty good. That guy's not bad. I guess you could say it's captivating. Thank God we didn't play that.
No, what happened to the música? ¿Dónde está la música?
Los Mets showing off their
saying?
Spanish.
I hear you saying my name.
That's right, we're talking shit.
I said Dennis is a big music guy. As soon as Mutz is like, I'm done with the music.
No, I put it back on.
And as soon as he took it off, you're like, where's
Dennis,
the music?
what's the song that's gonna get you a bomb?
Kickstart My Heart, Miley Cyrus.
Alright, that's a good one. Alright.
That's what I think of Dennis when I hear that song.
When I had my shore house in Seattle, I would always play this driving on an island
I think of you.
all the time.
When I hear this song, I think of you.
You had to go.
This, I'm a boss or put on my three.
What about me, though? I'm not you. I'm a whoop. Yeah. There you go. Maybe it affects some people. Okay, well then tell Liv you're not that. I don't want you to strike that enough.
That's crazy. I would go to the mall and be like, please let me bat. I would beg people to let me bat. I would swing a 4 ball outside of this. I'd be like, let me bat again. Let me bat again. Let me bat again.
Dennis, this is for you, man. Fucking go.
A little bit of Kickstart My Heart for Dennis to get hit in the butt cheek here against Chris Sterning. This is bottom 4. Top 4. That's what we have here on the scoreboard. Fantastic. Chris could use a map to find the zone, but here we go with Dennis. Good eye here. Good pitch from Chris. Looks juicy. High slider riser. Dennis swings through it. 2-1 count. Dennis! Very close to good contact. Hits the barrel just under it. Dennis, one of the best hitters in the league.
Come on!
But Chris with a pitch that's too fast. Dennis, great eye. Auto ball at 73 miles an hour. 71 to 72 gets you a warning. 73 plus gets you an auto ball. You get 1 warning prior to auto ball. Good luck for Dennis. Typically, the gods reward you with the ball don't lie, and ball do not lie at all. Chris Sterning, good strikeout. Dennis Dunnigan swinging early on that slow slider. Mets getting back in the field here as we head into the bottom of the 4th inning. Tie game.
Bro, it felt fast too.
Oh yeah. Ben Mott's playing Bon Jovi here.
All right, so what? Polanco has 1 out left, right?
Dylan making sure the Mets are adhering to the go rule.
Polanco has 1 out left.
Wayne! Come on, Wayne. Come on, Wayne.
Wayne Shambo up to bat. I'm about to go get a jacket. It's getting cold over here as you see the sun continue to retreat. No longer in the picture, really in center field only. Wayne takes an outside strike painted by Polanco. Polanco, great pitch. Wayne way early, fouls it into the zone. Good swing. About a whole second too early here. Wayne choking up about an inch. A lot of choking up today. Polanco down and away with a drop.
Hey, Wayne. Come on. You're good hitter. You're all over it.
Polanco missing a changeup. Screwball. Low. Center of the plate, low. Wayne swinging through a slider. Not really sure where he missed there. Looking for whatever's going on. Wayne, good swing, good pitch.
He said he wasn't
Here comes J. Paul Volpone. As we all know about the GOAT rule, the reliever must get 3 outs. Go through an inning. Trying to balance the league, trying to mitigate the amount of dominant pitching that happens, making sure everybody participates. It's a little bit of strategic approach. You can kind of decide when you want to burn your re-entry. Also part of the rules, you get a re-entry. But only one, so Polanco burned that. And here comes Pone. Pone has to finish this inning. Or something. There might be something else in the rules that I don't know. I could be lying. That's my thought process. I think if you give up something like a run, maybe. But we're in the bottom of the 4th here. This is game. This is end game. We have switched to 4 innings in our new format. Dylan swings through a drop that hit the leg. That was low. But Dylan swings through it. Outside screwball. Could really use this to your advantage as J. Paul. And he does. He tries to throw another screwball low. Dylan holds. Dylan brings the pitch. Pretty juicy slider over the middle top of the plate. Dylan doesn't want it. Dylan choking up about 2 inches this time. Home with a screwball. Dylan grounds it to the left side. Dennis cleanly fielded. Out at first base is Dylan Harshaw. Great play. Chris turning up to the plate with an out. Now for the A's. Chris Sterning, as we've said all game, just known for putting bat on ball. Dylan also putting bat on ball. This could be a very dangerous approach here for Pone, but he starts with a strike. Outside slider. 0-1. Our friend in left field behind Dennis still watching. Chris fouls off a screwball that would have been a ball, but crosses the plate at a good spot. 0-2 count. Chris explaining why he swung, as he does. Of course, Chris is never wrong. J. Paul throws a slider. Chris swings right through it. Gets out of the inning for Pone. Incredible pitch. Great job done by the Mets and the A's pitching staff to get out of the jams they've been in. Pone burning through the rest of the outs he needed to get through. We are now heading into extra innings, where we start with somebody on second base, similar to MLB rules. Both teams get a point in the standings. GOAT rule eliminated now that we're in extra innings. No longer necessary. Dennis Donegan, the runner on second base. Chris Sterning continuing to warm up. Yeah. Correct. It's not an earned run, but it's an RBI. I don't know. You've had good swings. I think it's possible. Matt Millikeeves scheming if he can pad his stats here. We'll see how it goes. Chris, basically the first legend of RPWL, coining the term GOAT rule as Chris's nickname growing up, and really continues to be GOAT or Goose, something with a G. Chris was so good, they had to make sure that other pitchers pitched and that something was fair. Otherwise, one dominant pitcher being in throughout the game is just too much and too unfair. Therefore, we have the GOAT rule. Matt Millikeeves stepping in the box. Righty batter, coined the nickname. Barry Bonds looks good, played baseball. Chris Sterning coming in with a slider, and Matt Millikeeves about a second early. Swings through that one.
Go, Barry!
holds on the high pitch, obviously thinking about it. These screwballs haven't been diving much, just screwing. Tough as a wiffle ball player, you're used to them biting down into the zone. Chris throwing another slider. Matt just off. 2 strikes in the count. As a baseball player, you gotta think just short to the ball. We're so used to doing a powerful swing. Chris comes in, screwball, grounded to the left side. Dylan Cleels. Oh, he's gonna be safe at first. He fielded it cleanly, but Matt Milikiv, as aforementioned, fast. Probably top 5 in the league in speed. We have a runner on first base here. Dennis doesn't move from second. We have first and second. Polanco takes the ball up and in. No outs. This is going to be jammy. This is what it's all about, adding this extra runner, ghost runner like the MLB does. That's low off the leg.
I know she keeps calling me. My girl. I haven't talked to her in like 5 hours. She doesn't know where I am.
If you hear the music pause, it's because Ben Mutz is a highly sought after boyfriend. There's a lot happening here on the first base. To Ben Mutt's girlfriend, if you're watching this, we apologize. Sean Polanco swings right over and past
I want to hear how this goes.
a low slider.
No, she's gonna be happy. She's gonna be like, "Where are you, wife?"
Good pitch, low screwball, low drop. Polanco takes it.
I'll deal with the repercussions later.
Much like hot dogs, Mutz is going to deal with the repercussions later of ignoring his significant other.
3-2.
The guys just love being here. Unfortunately, Chris with a good curveball. Coming in, it looked good. Halfway through, it started to dive low and away. Polanco takes. Polanco ready, really tapping and moving his hands. Watches a great pitch over the middle of the plate. Gets sat down. Here comes Pone. We have 1 out.
Boy, good form.
Pone swinging through a strike. Quality swing. Just missed top of the zone. 70 miles an hour from Chris Sterning. That is the maximum allowed in this league in the new format, as aforementioned. Pone swinging through another pitch. He is pissed off. He might do something here. Watch your car, watch your house, watch your wife. Pone is pissed off. Let's see what happens here. Holds at a high drop. As Enter Sandman comes on from Ben Mutz, J. Paul Volpone looks on to a menacing Chris Sterning with a 1-2 count.
Woo!
Hits the zone, sits him down, strikes him out. We have 2 outs. Unbelievable.
Yeah, Dennis.
Chris Sterning dealing. Dennis Dunnigan, dangerous hitter up in the box. 2 outs for the Mets. Takes the low and away pitch from Chris Sterning. Dennis takes the 5th pitch of the day right in the butt cheek. If anybody's getting hit in the butt cheek, it is Dennis Dunnigan today, number 11 of the Los Mets. Chris Sterning finally hitting the zone with a drop. Good spot. That looks unplugged. Is it? What's that cord? What's the cord in the box?
For an hour and 20.
Extra innings.
We're here.
Yes, we are. We are fully here. Dennis Dunnigan in the box. Chris Sterning needs a practice pitch. here to make sure he has the right ball. We have a few balls back there. Dennis Hunnigan back in the box. Disciplined hitter, dangerous hitter. Said that 12 times. Dennis lines a ball from J. Paul off the base. He's going to be out. That base runner is out. J. Paul hit by the ball. 200 miles an hour off the barrel from Dennis Dunnigan. The Mets are in astonishment. That will end the inning. J. Paul Volpone should not have been standing there. Would have been 2 runs at least. Just an incredibly unlucky turn of events for the Mets. Dennis with a barreled up ball. Unbelievable. I don't think we've seen that before in the league ever. And unfortunately, it happens to J. Paul Volpone, which,
That's a run, no?
of course, that's at least
That's
2
game.
runs.
That's
That was
Isn't that bottom?
that was top 5, I think.
No, they're wet.
Unbelievable.
He was off.
It was like,
Wait, Zane.
it wasn't far off the base, but I think he was off the base.
He wanted Zane has it.
You better go get
That's incredibly awesome. That's incredibly J. Paul Volpone has to put that behind him as he's on the mound now. Josh Butler swings through a drop. If that was going to happen to anybody in the league, it's J. Paul. Chris Sterling on second base now for the A's, who has an incredibly high IQ when it comes to wiffle ball. Josh swings through another low pitch. 2 strikes on Josh, very fast. Josh continues to choke up, just trying to get barreled the ball. J. Paul Volpone low on the legs. Noise is made. Confirmation that it is low.
1-2.
For those about to rock, playing on the microphone, incredibly juice. J. Paul with a great pitch. Josh swinging over the drop screw from J. Paul Volpone. We have 1 out. Wayne Shambo up to bat. Takes a pitch inside. Bones blaming the Nats around him for the ball, swatting him away. Brendan Bose continues to be our first base umpire. Colin takes the third base side. J. Paul throws it low and away, screwball. Brendan has been here all day. Known to be on the field prolonged amount of time. He's an athletic trainer in PT school. J. Paul throwing it high and in. Slider. Ooh, I heard a something contact there, but we're going to say that was a ball. Maybe throwing a little bit of elbow into it was Wayne Shambo. Wayne watching a low and in screwball. Empty base at first, really no harm. Honestly, adds a force out. Not the worst thing in the world. Maybe even strategically advantageous. Dylan Harshaw getting in the box. This is where you get nervous as J. Paul. Fires the first pitch wide for a strike. But now we have a force out in effect. Anybody can go to the mound for an out here. Dennis has fielded a few balls very cleanly this game. Polanco staying on the right side of the field. J. Paul missing inside. Ball 2. Don't get set, closes his eyes, takes a breath. Let's see what happens here with Dylan. Throws a strike. 70 on the dot. Dylan admits it's a good spot. 21 count here. Dylan fouls the ball off into Narnia. That's gone. Dylan wants that one back. That was a great pitch. Brendan Bose, Sasquatch, going to look for it. Bose found the ball. Never a doubt that Brendan Bose would get back there and find that ball. All right, 22 the count. Dylan, very disciplined hitter, especially in this format. You really can see when a ball is coming in. It's more about, do you think you can hit the ball that is coming in, that most people get tripped up. Delivers. Dylan fights it off. Safety swing right at the end. Probably missing a bit high, but Dylan fights it off. 32 the count. Everybody's engaged here. Colin Pollock in fair territory. Ballsy move. Dylan taking his time to get in the box. Get ready. Dylan swings at a high drop. Fouls it backwards. Dylan really doing all he can to fight this off. This is a good hitter. This is somebody who can put the bat on the ball in any scenario. Especially in this format, you can really kind of wait on a ball. You can get your feet fooled. You can keep your hands back. Dylan choking up about 2 inches, which seems to be the norm. Comes in, watches a screwball low. Full count. J. Paul grabbing his wrist. Maybe something's going on with his wrist here. Hits his zone!
Wow!
Dylan Harshaw stunned by the low slider hitting the zone. Puts him to second base. We still have first and second. We have 2 outs. Everything's updated. Sorry about that. A little bit of voice crack, a little bit of a strike here and there. We have 2 outs, 2 runners on. Chris Sterning comes up as we play the Rocky music. This is probably unfair and probably an advantage. Chris fouls the ball off. Just about 4 feet left of the third base bag. 1970s Rocky music is playing, and I think this is a PED for somebody on the field. Chris swings through that second pitch. Pone is absolutely fired up. Absolutely fired up. Some kind of incomprehensible noise came out of his mouth, and I think he's ready to finish the inning here. Come on! Swings through a pitch low and away. J. Paul out of the inning for the Los Mets. Unbelievable. Moving on. Top 6. Music is firing everybody up, including Colin Pollock, who went 0 for 2 today. 2 losses on the day. Colin's running around the bases to burn energy. Checks out. Colin finishes rounding the bases after he's
I said every clip of you have the book and a hoodie on. That's how you jump. You're like, yeah.
Was it Nick? Was it my brother or someone? It was something I needed like the Mets to win that game.
That was correct. And you had the book and a hoodie.
Is that yours?
Yeah. Thanks, Sean.
This is the Rocky. Different one? What's this song called? This bad. There you go.
the game, Bo.
71. It looked a little needy. 71.
We have a 12 count here to Barry Bonds. I'm coming back here to the booth. Matt Millikeeve in the box against Chris Durning. Watches a low and away riser for a strike. Sits him down. How many outs?
Oh, this is good for fantasy. You get those extra points.
Colin naturally thinking about fantasy as Polanco takes a strike on the outside half of the zone.
I just thought of that.
Ben Worley taken as the overwhelming 1-1 in most fantasy drafts, most as in mine.
Oh yeah, Tommy's that right?
Home run again today.
Ben with another home run. Probably a solid late first. Polanco swings at that one low and away.
I was about.
Yeah.
12 to count to John Polanco. Chris with a really close pitch. Great hold from Polanco. Just missed the outside part of the plate. It bounced halfway there. Chris holding the ball, misses low and in, but gets Polanco to chase for the second out of the inning. J. Paul Valpone coming up. Sorry. J. Paul, dangerous hitter. You never know what's going to happen.
I won like a 15-inning game.
I'm about
ready
to.
for a 15
I'm putting on another.
Let's see it, Pope.
Bone here, known to clip farm offensively. Takes a pitch inside from Chris Durning. Probably intentional. Chris Durning to Pone.
2-1.
21 the count, decided by Brendan Bose. Pone swinging through and pulling away on an outside slider from Chris Durning. Really needs to keep that left and front foot in on the plate. Cannot be stepping out on a pitch that's tailing away. Chris returns to a riser that's 71. J. Paul bailed out by that 71 mile an hour pitch, as we now know the 70 miles an hour is the cap in this league. Ish. It's charging.
My phone's gonna die. We want music.
This is a little more important than the music, but Pone really giving second life here. Let's see if ball don't lie. He fouls off a beautiful slider inside. They both want that back. Chris wants that a strike. J. Paul wants that as a hitter. You want to see that pitch again. Chris probably returning that as Old Faithful. And he does. It's a bit high. Pone fouls it off again. Pone is going to be sitting on that, and Chris is probably throwing it again. I'd be sitting on it too. What is it? 3-2? Not a full count, so Chris has another pitch here to play with. Throws it again, hits the zone, and J. Paul is absolutely furious, swinging through it. A's get out of it.
Oh my gosh.
Moving on
This is crazy.
to the bottom of the sixth inning. The last hit feels like it was 3 years ago, but really it was probably not too long ago. Runner on second base is going to be Chris Durning as he There's a reason out. J. Paul Valpoon still on the mound for the Los Mets. Of course, I could say for Los Mets, but I think it's doing a due diligence, given how white they are, to say the Los Mets. Josh Butler in the box for the Athletics. Blanco just a few steps off of second base on the right side. Dennis about halfway shortstop position on the left side. Josh takes a pitch outside here. Ball one. Josh swings at the ball, grounded to Pone. He's going to get the force out at first, but that moves the runner over to third. All right, so we also are new to this NWLA halfway line, which I cannot fully speak on. I can't say I know it exactly, but the ball was at the mound. Ultimately, the ball was at the mound before Chris crossed a halfway point from second to third base, therefore sending him back to second base and getting an out from the situation. So we have one out. One out and one strike on Wayne Shambo. Sounds like we're playing a Pirates of the Caribbean song, which is honestly electric. Wayne Shambo hits a ball 400 feet foul. But pulled it way left. Way left into the trees. As Hans Zimmer plays in the background with scenes of Johnny Depp and the open seas to be conquered, to be explored. What team today will explore new seas? What team today will come upon treasure lost in the ages between this rivalry for the A's and the Mets? Who will find the fountain of youth? Who will conquer Black Pearl? Something like that. Wayne swings right through a beautiful slider from J. Paul Valpoon. Dylan Harshaw's going to bat, comes off the third base to do so. Wayne's going to have to take third. In the meantime, doesn't yet. What's going to happen? Maybe nobody's on third. Yeah, I'm making that up. Dylan was just next to third. Ignore me. Dylan swings through a ball. Beautifully looking pitch from J. Paul Valpoon. Pirates of the Caribbean is fire, to be fair. Dennis Dunnigan, known to have the best music taste in the league. Critiquing the music that Ben Mutz is putting on Spotify, can't blame him. Huh?
I'm not on Knox. I want this music playing when we're playing.
Dude, Pirates? Is this Pirates right now?
No, these
The last-
NFL films.
Okay, the last one was Pirates, though.
No, it was like Rocky.
No, it was Pirates of the Caribbean.
No, it was Game of Thrones.
The last one that was on was Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Put on Pirates of the Caribbean right now.
I don't know that one. Pirates of the Caribbean.
John Williams, Pirates of the Caribbean. Colin wrong in saying Caribbean. Dylan swinging and saying no shot. Everybody's wrong here in the camera lens.
Magic.
J. Paul with a tempting pitch. Dylan holds, blown away.
Oh, you can stop him.
They're trying to tell me Pirates of the Caribbean wasn't playing. Chat, if you hear this, just let them know they were. Par with a pitch! Breaks the sound barrier through the zone, maintains the speed limit. Dylan watches it. Right down the middle of the plate. Dylan holds, low and away, takes a walk. We have first and second. The bases are clogged.
We need 2 runners. Dylan's going first.
Not clogged, but we have a force out in play. And I am always in favor of putting somebody on an empty base. You then have a force out, which really helps your defense. And it helps with trying to hold a runner that's aggressive. So now we have first and second base. Chris Durning is up. takes a high slider. Colin really not with it today. Misses the ground ball play. I couldn't either. Over 2 in mine. This field, well, you said it when you were on second. You were like, this is terrible. I just wait back on every ball because it can bounce at any moment. Home with a high slider, misses. He's annoyed. He's annoyed. Chris Erning ready and confident in the box. Takes a low approach. Pretty bent over. Cone missing low with a screwball. 4-0 the count. Honestly, unless this is a slow riser over the middle of the plate, slow slider over the middle of the plate, you're really not swinging at this pitch with first and second extra innings. Chris takes it deep! Center field off a pound! This game is over! 3-run walk-off home run, Chris Erning deep to center field. Unbelievable at bat here from Chris Erning. 4-0 pitch to swing at deep over the right center field fence. This game is over. Good night from the Ridley Park Lake.